That's our very own Seaside band. Getting us started with some Christmas music there. Good morning. Hello, Seaside. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Happy holidays. I can't believe we are like 5 days away from Christmas. This is crazy. But it's a wonderful time. We're just so blessed and grateful to be here and for everybody joining us. And I'm here to kind of get us anchored in a little bit with the help of Max on the piano. I feel the spirit down in my soul. I feel the spirit down in my soul. I feel the spirit down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I've got the music down in my soul. I've got the music down in my soul. I've got the music down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. I feel the power down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I said the whole wide world is my home. Yeah. Said the whole wide world is my home. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning.
What a joy it is to be with you today. Got a new mic here for Christmas. How's that sound? Better?
There we go.
All right, they can hear me now. Oh, missed my great solo
You can say it
moment.
again.
No
Good.
way. I was just caught up in the spirit. You know, my head had gotten out of the way for a moment. Wow, what a great morning. Another sunny blue sky.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. A lot different than last year. I remember it was raining so hard. You and Peter Sprague had to come inside
That's
the Seaside.
right. That's
Man,
right.
standing room only.
Yeah, it ended up being, we dealt with the situation. We were able to come here in beautiful space here at Seaside, and it was an incredible concert last year.
Nice. So where are you doing it?
Well, with everything happening, we've gone virtual.
Oh,
so
of course, everything goes virtual.
We're
right?
actually doing the virtual concert this afternoon at 5 o'clock.
Really?
So,
Wow.
it'll be on. We'll be sharing it, but it's on YouTube, Peter's YouTube channel.
Oh, good.
And it'll be
Go to
great.
your
Yeah.
your Facebook.
Yep,
something?
I'll be
You'll
sharing
link
it
there?
for sure.
That'll be
Yeah.
fun. That was great. I mean, the standing room only wouldn't work
Yeah.
this time of year.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
It's true.
and candlelight service. Oh my goodness!
So excited about that.
It is. It's virtual.
It's virtual as
It's
well.
virtual. Standing room only usually for that.
That's right.
In my
that's right.
dreams, but it's
Yeah,
fun. Gonna miss all the guys on the stage.
I
You
know.
usually
That's-
have 100
yeah.
guys up
Yep.
here saying we do have men. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, it'll be good. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, it's gonna be wonderful.
We'll go right to the Seaside website, seasidecenter.org,
Mm-hmm.
and just click in. We're going to zoom on in. It'll be seminar style, so
Yeah.
we're not going to have a gallery. We're just going to be right on you. We're going to your house,
That's
your
right.
studio.
That's
Get to see
right.
how you live.
Yep.
That'll be good.
Yep. Same back in your house too.
Yeah, we'll be in front of the fireplace. Reverend Debbie, we're going to her
Reverend Debbie,
house
that's
right there.
right. So
That'll be good. Your mom going to be there?
I'm not sure. What
Not
do you think?
sure. Well, I don't know. I got to ask her. Huh? that closing
With
song.
COVID, it makes things weird. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
It's-
Oh, that's
it's
right.
harder
Yeah,
nowadays,
of course.
so-
Okay.
so.
Well, I understand
Yeah.
for sure. But also, I just want to put out there, we're having a winter solstice celebration, Seaside Sisters.
That's awesome.
Tomorrow night, we got this great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter. Have you seen that?
Oh,
at night?
wow. No, I've heard about it, but I don't know enough
Really,
about it. I should
just
probably
before,
tune in.
after sunset, right above the horizon. And tonight, they call it the Bethlehem star, the Christmas
that's
star.
right. I did hear about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, check it out. So,
symbolic in so many ways.
hey, we could be talking all morning, just catching up. But you know what? Reverend Debbie's going to take us to that deeper place.
There
so,
we go.
hey, Reverend Debbie, just come and get us going.
Hi, Seaside. How are you? It's so good to be here with you today. I am Reverend Debbie McDonald. It's my joy to be with you. Happy holidays to all of you. Wow, all kinds of great things happening in the world. Man, the planets are aligning. There's stars coming out. We're 12/20/2020. I mean, that's got to be a good thing, right? Today's date. I don't know. It sounds good anyway. Let's see. Dr. Christian, I told you about the winter solstice. That is happening with Callie Sorensen and the Seaside Sisters. That's tomorrow night. You can sign up for it. Just go onto our website. Candlelight service Wednesday night. All sorts of things. And I'm supposed to be doing the invocation. I got ahead of myself. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and set the tone for today's service. I will light the candle, and then we will chime our crystal bowl 3 times as we move into the silence. And then we'll do a prayer. So here we go. Knowing and feeling and sensing the one power, the one love, the one light. Knowing that all that is seen and unseen is love made manifest. Knowing that there is only God, only good, only love, now and always. And I know that I am an expression of this divine love. And just as this is true for me, it's true for each one. Each human being, each animal, everything in the world is God made manifest. And I know and I claim for each one a perfect unfoldment of their lives. And I'm knowing today for this divine service, for this time together, for this sacred time together, that it unfolds perfectly in divine order. That all that needs to be said is said, and all that needs to be heard is heard. I know that Spirit moves through Dr. Christian in a most amazing way. Inspiration moving in, through, and as him out to all of you. Knowing that the perfect right solution, the perfect right message, the perfect right inspiration touches the heart of each one that is here today, seeking that connection, seeking that God moment, seeking that sense of community and love. So with a heart full of joy and gratitude for all that is, I just let it be.
All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Let me know all is good, holy, holy.
All love, holy, holy. Thank you, Rebecca Jade, for anchoring us so beautifully with song. Thank you, Max, for your accompaniment. It's just wonderful to be here with you. You know, we are having first service outside. So if you're craving a little a connection with your Seaside family, know that we are here in the meditation garden at 9 a.m. And so far we've had beautiful, wonderful weather. And our guest artists are there. And our Max is accompanying Rebecca. And, of course, Dr. Christian. And we'd love to have you. And we love coming to you live stream as well. So however you receive your Seaside fix, just know it's a pleasure to be here with you. You know, if you haven't had a chance to check out our website lately, check it out. It's looking really good, and all the information that you need to know about what's coming up, what's going on, is right there on the home page. You'll see the candlelight, you'll see the winter solstice, you'll see Dr. Tillotson's New Year's Eve burning bowl, you'll see Reverend Rebecca Berry's peace meditation, and I believe on Friday all the winter classes will be up there. So stay tuned, check out our website often and know what's going on. And also you can receive in your inbox our e-newsletter that comes out every Friday. We call it SWAG. It's Seaside Week at a Glance. And you can just go on our Facebook page or on the website and sign up for that if you're not receiving it, so you'll know everything that's happening here at Seaside. So we're grateful for that. Dr. Christian's talk today is the spirit of Christmas, and it certainly is feeling like Christmas. You know, even with all that's going on in the world, it's starting to feel like Christmas to me anyway. And in the spirit of the season, I wanted to read a short little book to you. It's called The 12 Gifts of Birth by Charlene Costanzo. It's a message for children of all ages and the child in every adult. We read this to our kids in junior church, but it's a great book. Here it goes. Once upon a time, a long time ago, when princes and princesses lived in faraway kingdoms, royal children were given 12 special gifts when they were born. You may have heard the stories. 12 wise women of the kingdom, or fairy godmothers as they're often called, traveled swiftly to the castle whenever a new prince or princess came into the world. Each fairy godmother pronounced a noble gift upon the royal baby. As time went on, the wise women came to understand that the 12 royal gifts of birth belonged to every child born anywhere at any time. They yearned to proclaim the gift to all children, but the custom of the land did not allow that. One day when the wise women gathered together, they made this prophecy. Someday, all the children of the world will learn the truth about their noble inheritance. When that happens, a miracle will unfold on the kingdom of earth. Someday is near. Here is the secret they want you to know. At the wondrous moment you were born, as you took your first breath, a great celebration was held in the heavens, and 12 magnificent gifts were granted to you. The first gift is strength. May you remember to call upon it whenever you need it. The second gift is beauty. May your deeds reflect its depth. The third gift is courage. May you speak and act with confidence and use courage to follow your own path. The fourth gift is compassion. May you be gentle with yourself and others. May you forgive those who hurt you and yourself when you make mistakes. The fifth gift is hope. Through each passage and season, may you trust the goodness of life. The sixth gift is joy. May it keep your heart open and filled with light. The seventh gift is talent. May you discover your own special abilities and contribute them toward a better world. The eighth gift is imagination. May it nourish your visions and dreams. The ninth gift is reverence. May you appreciate the wonder that you are and the miracle of all creation. The 10th gift is wisdom. Guiding your way, wisdom will lead you through knowledge to understanding. May you hear its voice. The 11th gift is love. It will grow each time you give it away. And the 12th gift is faith. May you believe. And so it is. God bless you.
Oh, those are beautiful. 12 wonderful reminders. Thank you, Rev Deb. It is my honor on Sunday mornings to introduce our guest artists. We just love this beautiful spirit. She and her awesome husband drive down from Los Angeles to be here with us. She is just not only an incredibly talented, gifted, soulful singer, she's also a relatively new practitioner. And so she is just not only in tune in the music, with spirit in such a unique and special way. And so we're just so blessed to have her here. She also teaches voice to the kids, and she's just an all-around amazing human, and I'm just blessed to know her. And please welcome Gia Chambodi.
Good morning, Seaside. Happy season of lights. Yay. Mhm.
Santa, make it hurry when he
Hallelujah. Oh, my goodness. Well, Christmas tunes, rock and roll style, man. You and Chuck Berry, right?
That's Chuck Berry.
That's right. Man, you guys just know how to lay it down there. Man. I like it. Man, good old freeway song for Santa. Woo. Anyway, how fun, how fun. And that's how we do Seaside, is with fun, with joy, and just welcome to this Christmas season. I mean, it is a season of joy for sure. And it started early, at least in my neighborhood. There were lights going up before Thanksgiving on our street. And you know what? Nobody was complaining this year. It was like a welcome embrace for sure. And Christmas tunes at this time of the year, I hear people starting to complain, I've had enough of the Christmas carols. Nobody's saying that this year. They're like, keep it coming, keep it coming. They're not even complaining about commercialism in the holidays. There is a spirit of Christmas that's afoot. Actually, you want to know? There's a conspiracy going on. There's a conspiracy for love that's beginning to have its way. We're starting to believe that it is so, that there's a greater spirit, there's a greater gift of God that is happening, and this is the place and this is the time, and you got to be present to receive your presence of the Spirit. So, I guess you're getting, I like this Christmas thing. There's a spirit here, that presence of God, where all of a sudden people are like waking up. You know, we may have been in a stupor for a while, just kind of going through time like, wow, what happened in the last 6 months, last 9 months? The spirit of Christmas, it wakes you up. There's a light, there's a gift, there's a spirit, there's an excitement, there's a possibility. All of a sudden you feel that childhood wonder once again coming alive. I got to tell you, I came into this world very excited about Christmas. My house, when I was growing up, it was about the kids and Christmas, and I was up for that one. It was wonderful. And it began in our front yard the day after Thanksgiving. My dad with his best friend Denny, they would pull out this big old Santa Claus in a sled and the reindeer out of the attic and bring it down and lay it across the front lawn. They would tie a big cable to the ancient pine tree that was growing on one side of the property. They would wire up the reindeers and Santa, and they'd fill a sleigh with all these faux gifts. And hanging right outside on the red sleigh were these white holsters. One had my brother's name, David. The other had my name, Christian. And they would put this cable through this old maple tree, and the neighborhood would be lined with all the kids now. They'd be waiting for us to pull up this magical moment. And all of a sudden, they would hoist this sled and these reindeers through this pulley, and up into the sky flew the reindeers and Santa. And everybody started cheering. And Hesby Street, it was the beginning of Christmas going on there. That's how it began for me. And I got to tell you, I love Christmas. It's still magical to me, that's for sure. And so when I got my house 20 years ago, Callie and I, the first thing we bought, or at least one of the first things, was a big old Santa and his reindeer, and they sat on our roof for years until it was no longer safe for this old man to climb up and down the ladder getting that heavy thing off. And so it's been on our front lawn for about the last 5 years. And this year when I was bringing it out, across the street, there is this gardener who every Saturday shows up with his kids. They look like they're maybe 6 and 8. They sit in his car all morning. And for years, they've been watching them grow, and they've been watching me put out Santa. And this year I walked over, and I said, would you guys like Santa, his sleigh, and the reindeer? And they lit up. They got so excited, and I was helping to carry Santa over, and the dad, the gardener, he was just saying, I'm going to paint this, and we're going to have this forever. I was like, whew. It's no wonder I still believe. You know, I still put my stocking out every night because there's a spirit of Christmas, and it gets filled. I don't know how, but I do know that I'm going to keep putting it out, and it's going out this one. And there's a spirit. You can choose to believe. You can choose to have that childlike wonder. You can dial into the station of your choice and know. You know, it comes down to you making that decision. That's the spirit that is available. That presence of God is saying, wake up. There's a light. There's a joy. There's a magic. There's a twinkle. There's something that's going on, no matter what your situation may be. Bobby Hera, he shares the story of coming from a poor family, and one was during the holidays, his basketball team, his high school basketball team was coming back from a game, and the bus, they pulled over to a diner. All the kids got off to have dinner, and Bobby and his brother, they had no money for dinner, and they were embarrassed to say anything. They just stayed on the bus. The bus emptied out, and moments after all the kids stepped out, one of the parents stepped on and said, hey, Bobby, And brother, come on, I'll buy you guys dinner. But I got to tell you what, there's one condition, the only condition really, is that you've got to promise, the way you got to thank me is to one day go ahead and buy a dinner for another great kid like you. Bobby's been buying dinner for kids ever since, and he is now the owner of a big HR firm. You know, there's a magic. Could you imagine every time Bobby buys a dinner now, that memory of the gift that he received? See, that is the reciprocating. That is the paying it forward. That is being caught in an energetic that is timeless, that gets passed through time, because you become that conduit in which it moves and expresses yourself, but you got to be available for it. You know, there are... A nurse pulled this Marine into the room of this old man and said, "Your son is here." And the old guy, he was heavily sedated. You know, he wasn't going to make it too long. He barely had enough energy to reach out his hand and take hold. And the Marine, he sat there, you know, and holding his hand, and he could, you know, feel the squeezes. Sometimes it got hard, sometimes loose. And as it passed through the night and got to be early morning, and old man's hand kind of lost its grip, and he died, and he moved on. So the Marine got up and walked out to the door to find the nurse, and she was standing outside, and the nurse started with her condolences and her sympathy. The Marine said, "Well, wait a minute. I don't know that old man. I was just visiting a friend in the room next door when you came and grabbed me." She said, "So why didn't you say anything?" He said, "Well, I knew right away that it was a mistake. But when I saw that elderly gentleman needed his son, I decided to stay because I knew he needed someone." Do you have the time to stay when somebody reaches out? Are you willing to bring that sense of Christmas, if you would, to a moment any time of the year that you find yourself in? Hazrat Inyakan, who came to America to bring the music from the East, began the Sufi order here in 1914. He said, "Some people go and look for beautiful places. Others make places beautiful." Make a place beautiful with your heart, your soul, by being available to be the presence of God, to be the presence of God. You know, you get to decide, you know, how you're going to be in that moment. Have you ever walked down the airplane? You're walking down the aisle, and, you know, you see this person watching this one movie over here, and this person watching a movie over here, and another person watching a different movie over here, and right next to them, in the next seat, somebody's watching a different movie, and there's all these different movies and scenarios going on around the plane. People are tuning in to different experiences. It's like when we used to be able to go to the movies. Remember those days? Go to these multiplexes. You go to the theater, and you get to decide, you know, do I want to watch a comedy? Maybe a thriller. You know, maybe I want to be terrified. You know, and you have the emotions, the sadness, of laughter, of joy, of horror, and right next to you, right on the other side of the wall, somebody is having an entirely different experience at the same movie theater. And if that's not enough, now we got the internet. I heard there's almost 2 billion different sites on. You talk about infinite possibilities of tuning in to different experiences, different realities. You tune in, and maybe you want some education, or maybe you want some news, or maybe you want a date, or sex, or gaming, or medical advice, or, you know, the list goes on. And let's say you tune onto a site and it's kind of distasteful for you. You tune off. We've learned real quickly now, I don't need to stick with it if I don't like it. You know, we don't try to change the website. We move on. You know, when you got something going on in the world and it's not your match, you know what? It's going to keep going. That's the meme. That's the vibration. That's the grade. You know, I'm going to go play where my heart is because the opportunity is there. And I want us to know that the spirit of Christmas is always a choice. It is always available, a site that you can tap into, but you got to decide, hey, is this what I want in my life? Because when you tap into something, it may be right, it may not be right. You know, you get to decide quickly now. You know, Stephen Wright, I like this guy. He's a comedian. He's kind of delivers deadpan. And he said, you know, if at first you don't succeed, definitely, skydiving is not for you. You know, it's like I share that because you come to something and it's not right. I don't have to stay there for another half hour. I don't have to keep submitting myself to this channel, to this experience that is going on. I'm the one who gets to make the move here. No. And so sometimes when we're caught up in our space or we're just moving through time, passing time, wow, what happened to time? We're given this opportunity, the spirit of Christmas. Wake up. There's light. There's possibility. There's a twinkle. There's a delight. There's an option here. But sometimes we'll find ourselves in this dark place. It happens when we do this thing called life. And when the time is dark, you know, and you're quarantined, you know, there's a pandemic, or there's fear, or whatever it is, you've got to recognize that it's a season, if you would. You know, it's a night season. And in the darkness, you've got to recognize that God is still working. You just may not be able to see it in your life at this point. But occasionally, you're given a hint to wake up. We're having this wonderful conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn. They're turning into, I don't know, they've heard it called the Christmas star, the Bethlehem star. These two planets are coming together. I don't know what it means, but I think it's very cool. You can just look out to the west right after sunset, and you watch these two almost kissing right now. It is a magical moment in time, but when we're caught in the darkness and we're dealing with the pandemic or the loss. People have died that we may know. The loss of jobs. Letting go of past identity of who I am in the world. The loneliness that is there. There is real pain, sadness, shifts, fear, worry, which is like praying for what you don't want, you know. It's anxiety. It's running it over and over in your mind. But you got to realize that it's just a season. It's just an extra step to your destiny of living a joyous life of self-expression and self-creativity. And you remember the story from the Bible, Job? I mean, here's a guy. He was a pretty happy-go-lucky guy. Things worked for him. His life was clicking. He had abundance, he had business, he had success, he had family, he had peaking health. He had everything going his way. And you talk about, boom, the dark season, dark night of the soul. It's like he gets knocked down, his body stops working, boils, there's pain. He's losing his funding. He's down and he's out. I mean, you'll find in about the 30th proverb, about verse 5, it says, weeping, crying, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Can you remember that joy? When it's dark, when you're weeping, when there's pain? See, that's the beauty of the spirit of Christmas. It's that star. It's that wake-up call. You're in the midst of the pain. You're weeping, the darkness. There's a star there. You got to remember that the joy will come in the morning. But what does Job do? He puts his attention on what's not working. It is the anxiety, which is affirming the very thing you don't want over and over and over. He starts worrying and the pain and talking about it and saying this is horrible and terrible. And he magnifies the very thing he doesn't want until one of his friends, is about the 8th chapter there, where he says, Job, God will bring laughter to your mouth and joy to your lips. You got that? Guys, I've heard enough of your magnification of this dark time. Boom. God's going to bring laughter back and joy to your lips. But I've got to be available for it. I've got to tune off this channel that I'm not, it's not a match for me. I can't stay focusing and talking about it. I've got to choose the movie I'm watching. I've got to choose the site I'm in. I don't have to watch that screen over there. I've got to decide, you know what? And that's what Job eventually did. And it is said that his good was doubled. Twice as many goats, twice as many oxen, twice as many camels, twice as many donkeys, twice as good health. Things had multiplied, and then it goes on to say, and that he had children and grandchildren for 4 generations, and he lived another 140 years. Whew. That's a long time. That's a lot of grandkids. Presents you got to get at Christmas, or at least cards for their birthdays. I mean, that'd be crazy. Another 140 years, that's pretty good. But how do we remember Job? When you talk about Job, you remember his pain, his boils, the hard times. What I want to point out is it was just one season in 140 years. And it was pretty good before that season too. So what I want us to get is that we may be in this night season. But there's another 140 years afterwards. And you can continue to talk about the boils and the bad things and the darkness, but it's a season. And what's there is just the step on the way to your destiny, as I said. But you're the one who's got to decide that I'm going to choose to change the dial here, the frequency. This station or this site's not matching for me. I'm about joy, about the light, about the health, the wholeness, the vibrancy. And so what people will sometimes do is they will postpone their happiness. When I get through this pandemic, then I'm going to be happy. Then we can celebrate. When I graduate, then I'll be happy. When I get married, then I'll be happy. When I have the kids, people are planning to postpone their happiness until what I'm here to tell us is let us design our happiness for today. Design your happiness for now. We're in a season of joy, of light, of delight, of light, of happiness. There's a spirit afoot. It is a spirit of Christmas. It is a spirit that transcends cultures. It is multicultural. It has gone through from the beginning of time when the light first started returning to the darkness, that the people of the planet, celestial gazing, probably more intelligent and in tune with the celestial realm than we are now, began to celebrate that, the season of darkness is coming to an end and the light is returning. And I'm going to celebrate this little moment. There's a moment when the sun stops moving. And that's the moment we're in right now, this winter solstice. We're celebrating it tomorrow night. The Seaside sisters are getting together to celebrate the winter solstice. There's something that's taking place, and it's important to be able to be happy now. In these moments, people will, maybe not recognize the happiness of this moment because it's a little moment, but as we look back upon those little moments, we come to recognize those were big moments. And I missed it then. I missed it. So I'm here to tell us not miss it. I look back, as I remember the holidays, we had a chocolate cream pie we brought to the table, and there's 5 of us at the table. We'd eaten more than half the pie, prior to this moment. And so it came to the table, and even if you cut small slices, there's only 4 slices, and there's 5 of us. My mom, who loves chocolate cream pie, it is without a doubt, and everyone knew, her most favorite thing, had those 4 slices sit on the table and said to us, I'm not hungry tonight. I had dinner. I'm full. I'm not in the mood for chocolate cream pie. You guys can have it. Wow, Mom, what a gift. It's like, I love to give away now the last slice of anything thanks to Mom. It's like that Bobby Harra who wanted to give dinners the rest of his life to great kids. I just love giving away the last piece of whatever it is. So I'm a good one to hang out with at parties if we get down to the good stuff and there's a little left. I can remember another little moment at the time that's turned into a big moment. I can remember one of the Christmas, after Christmas, lowering the reindeer out of the sky and coming down and getting ready to put away Santa and the faux presents. There were 2 real presents on the sleigh. Real presents with my brother's name and my name on it. It's like, to this day, I don't know how that happened, but it has turned into a big moment that keeps me believing. We get to believe. We get to step into life with a belief or with a doubt, with a faith. Faith is what we do between our miracles. And if it's a dark season, that is really the time to have the faith, to continue to believe, to look for the star in the heavens of within. And what is it that I can do to bring to be a bringer of that gift of the season, to be the spirit of Santa. You know, there's a wonderful story. I'm sure I've shared it in Christmas pasts. Another Bobby story, actually. But Carol Laycock tells the story. It's her story from when she was 8, a number of years ago, when her older sister dropped the bomb. No kids, cover their ears there, that there was no Santa Claus. This little 8-year-old's devastated. What do you do? Well, she jumped on her bike, small town, rode across town to her grandmother's, who just happened to be making cinnamon buns that morning, and she probably knew it. And she sat down because Grandma was a straight shooter, no gushy stuff. Said, Grandma, my sister, told me that there was no Santa Claus. Grandma said, Santa Claus? Oh, that's ridiculous. I've been hearing that rumor for years, and it just isn't true. Let's go, young lady. Grab your coat. Let's get out of here. And it's like, but she was only on her second, Cinnabon and wasn't quite ready, didn't know where we were going to go. But what she discovered is where they went was to Kirby's. It was the local general store in a small town that had a little bit of everything. They walked in the door, and Grandma pulled out a 10 crispy dollar bill and said, here you go, Carol. I want you to go buy something for somebody who needs something. And I'll see you out of the car. And then disappeared. Well, here's this little 8-year-old, been shopping with her mom before, but never in a store by herself, actually having to buy something on her own. And she's standing there kind of, in just shock, if you would, at first, because you got all these people rushing around trying to get in the last-minute Christmas shopping. And she's trying to think, who do I know who needs something? You thought about the kids in the neighborhood, at school, at church, and relatives. And then it dawned on her, Bobby Decker. That kid that sits behind her in her second grade class, Mrs. Pollock's class. Bobby is that kid whose mouth stinks. His hair is always a mess, disheveled. He doesn't have a coat. And I know he doesn't have a coat because he doesn't go out to recess. I know his mom sends a note to the teacher that says Bobby can't go out to recess because he's got a cough. But all the kids know he doesn't have a cough. He doesn't have a coat. And I'm going to get him a coat. And excited, she went over and found this red corduroy coat with a hood. She shook for a price tag. Couldn't find the price tag, but, it didn't matter. She had $10. $10 could buy anything. And so she went up to the checkout stand and waited her time in line and got there and to the clerk, and she pushed the coat up there with the $10 on top of it. And the lady behind the counter, looked at the coat, looked at the price, looked at $10, then looked at little 8-year-old Carol and said, is this coat for somebody else? Her big eyes kind of shyly said, yeah, it's for Bobby Decker. He's in my class, and he doesn't have a coat. She just smiled, took the coat, put it in a bag. Carol didn't get any change, but that was okay. She was excited. She ran back to the car and showed her grandma, and her grandma took her home. They wrapped up this coat, and Grandma said, okay, you need to write out the tag to Bobby from Santa, and because Santa likes secrecy, can't know who's giving it, and just know that you're part of Santa's helpers now. Carol. And with that, they jumped in the car and drove to Bobby Decker's house. It's getting dark out. They park a couple houses down quietly. They sneak up, get in the bushes, and they're waiting for the perfect moment. And Grandma nudges Carol and says, okay, Santa, get going. She ran to the door, threw the present there, pounded on the doorbell, and ran back. And they sat shivering in the bushes watching. And sure enough, out came Bobby out of the house. Looked down, saw a present, looked around. Didn't see anybody. He grabbed that box and he ran in the house. Carol says she'll never forget that moment the rest of her life, sitting next to Grandma, shivering in the bushes. She said she now believes what her grandmother said about Santa and people not believing, that it's just ridiculous. This is the season. And it is those small moments that matter. But do you have the time to be available for them? Like that Marine who stayed with a man he didn't even know and held the hand. Something that tells you to give something away, whether it's a dinner or a Santa Claus. See, the spirit of Christmas is moving through all those that are available. But you got to be available. And there's a spirit that's afoot called the spirit of Christmas. Call it conspiracy of love. call it delight, call it joy. But whatever season of the night you are in, know that joy comes in the morning. And your lips will shout with joy. God bless you in this season of love. I love you. Hey. Gia, you've got another song for us. Talk about love and giving and sharing. You be the one.
Wow. Well, that got me in the Christmas spirit, seriously. Beautiful. Gentlemen. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir of folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes on the road will find it hard to sleep tonight.
is Gia. Thank you so much for coming on down, and what a joy to have you here. And your wonderful new Tesla that you and Christopher drove down this morning. What a great Christmas present to find in your stocking, whatever time of the year it showed up.
That was a big stocking.
That was a big stocking. I've seen those commercials and go, wow. Yeah, I didn't even hear you guys pull up this morning. But boy, you made it stir with a rockin' Rudolph and chestnuts. It was great. So thank you for sharing this morning. And Rebecca, just a blessing always. It's wonderful. And thank you to those that mail in your contributions. Sent out a letter, just a Christmas letter to everybody. And your responsiveness and your gifts has just been huge. It's I'm just continuously, I marvel at that. And so this is the time of our service where we have the opportunity to share our gift, to share our love in a monetary kind of way, because that's necessary for us to be able to function through this time that we find ourselves in, or all the times to function in this world. And so as you support your spiritual, that which is showing up as spirit in your life, what you'll find is spirit showing up as your life. And you step into that wonderful circulation that transcends time. It transcends sources. You know, you may think my income or my goods coming from here, but you know what? You're dealing with that which is infinite. And the omnipresence has infinite kinds of ways. And as you continue to partner with the flow of spirit, and you are the gift, and you become the recipient of the gift, and it is everything that could ever be desired is ever available, because it's God. It's all been given already. But you've got to be in the activity of the expresser of life. All of nature is constantly giving and expressing, and is continuously sourced. It's the way it works. You can't just think about it or talk about it or espouse it. You've got to practice that. And so my heart's filled with joy as I continue to watch this community do that. Just thank you for your love and your holiday gifts. And know that's on the screen. It says donate here. Go ahead, press here, or you can do Venmo, or you can go through our platform. I've yet to see how you can do it, but I'm told that's how it happens. But what I want to do is a prayer of gratitude, and then we'll say our affirmation together. And it's with joy in my heart that I can feel this outpouring of love that unfolds in this moment. It is blessed, it is grace, it is God, and the giver becomes the receiver. And I know right now that each of us is blessed because we give with a sense of joy and blessing and appreciation and expansiveness. And what comes back to our experience is the expanding good in ways that are just relevant and right on. So with joy, we step into this wonderful flow, this current, this circuit of the divine expression. And we live with a healthy expression of life. And so it is. Amen. And together, let's say this affirmation of abundance, which is, Spirit continues to bless my world. Gratefully, I live as the giving expression of Spirit, opening the floodgates of the affluent flow of greater good as my life now. That is your Seaside Band. Nice job. Bob leading the pack for almost 30 years now. Man, what a blessing for sure. You got Glenn there on the bass. We got Paul there on those skins. And we have got Max there on the Paul Lloyd Warner Blues on Dorfer. Great job, guys. Speaking of great job, Max there. But Matthew, I did first service to Matthew. Thank you for the sound here, setting up for the 9 o'clock service and rolling right through here to noon. And so thank you. And I know Steve's there every morning helping you. James is out there every morning helping you. In the sound booth, you got those guys doing their work right now. And in the cameras, you have got Timothy as well as Edwin. So it takes a lot to make this Sunday morning happen. Reverend Debbie, thank you for sharing your love. And once again, Gia, thanks for driving down. and Rebecca. Hey, we got a date Wednesday night. Whole world gets tuned in with us. The candlelight service, 7 o'clock, right here on the Seaside platform, seasidecenter.org. You press it, you go in the Zoom room, and there you go. We got it going on. And you got friends, you got Carl Anthony, you got Peggy Lebo. I think the band's even going to drop in a number for us. And we got who? Yeah, we do. It's going to be great. And we got stories from people that have been part of Seaside for the years. So it's going to be great. So be there. Bring a candle. That's what I'd like you to do. Bring your own BYOC. There you go. BYOC. That's what I should have been advertising. Bring your own candle, and we'll light at the end. We got Holy Night, Silent Night. It's going to be a great night. I know that. So. Tomorrow night, we got the winter solstice celebration. The Seaside Sisters are getting together, and so they're doing it on Zoom, keeping it safe. And so be willing to be part of that if you'd like. Go to our website, find out how you can Zoom into that, probably the Seaside Sisters page. And then next Sunday, we're going again. We're going to talk about, goals for the new year and creating your vision. That'll be good. And as you said, we got 9 o'clock service, safe distancing practice, all safe protocol outside. And then New Year's Eve day, 4 a.m., the World Peace Meditation. Reverend Rebecca will be leading us in that with people around the globe. It's Greenwich noon time, so if you want to know how 4 a.m. showed up, blame Greenwich. And then that evening, Dr. Christina is going to be doing that burning bowl ceremony. Once again, go to the website, you get the Zoom link, and you get to leave 2020 behind and just embrace the greater good in 2021. You up for that? Good. Now let's do some prayer work. It's definitely, the spirit of Christmas is upon the house. I feel it. I sense it. I stand in the glory, the light, the love. Oh, there's conspiracy going on, and it's a pandemic of love that is popping up. Don't keep it quiet. Share it with a friend. For love is happening. It is a season of light and love and joy and delight. It is God making itself manifest. In this moment, there is an opening. The veil is parted. There is an invitation to step across the threshold through the portal to the greater expression, to catch the vision of a sight that can be lived as your reality now here on earth, a sight of abundance and joy and well-being, creative expression, feeling yourself source. So there is a peace within that knows God expressing Himself. Each and every one of us is the expression of the divine. And as I get my littleness out of the way, and that movement moves with greater velocity, it purges out that which doesn't belong. I do not need to tell the infinite wisdom what it needs to do to heal my life or to turn the lights back on. Any of the challenges of the season, it came to pass. Passed, didn't stay. For there is another 140 years of joy, of abundance, of love, of family, of vibrant physical expression. This is the vehicle that houses your creative emanation. You are the divine tap for God to take form in this world. But are you present? Are you willing to stay in a moment that reaches out and says, I need the compassion. I need you to just be present now. It's in the now moment that magic happens. It's in those small moments that looking back, you recognize how grand and big and glorious they are. Find the time to stay in the present and feel, express, be. And with that, there is a sense of well-being. No matter what is going on the other sites, the other stations, or the other screens, there's a sense of well-being right where I am. for that Christmas spirit, that light, that Bethlehem star, that something, that guiding sphere is calling each and every one of us into our joy, into our jam, into our dharma, into our self-expression, and all that is necessary is available now. It is not dependent upon what is going on in this world. Yes, there may have been a dark season, but it's become a step towards my destiny and self-expression. So with joy, I embrace the light and the love and the glory that is now. I dance with the delight of spirit for all to see. I don't hide it. I spread it. And healing happens. But not only for me and my physical body and my world of expression, but for those that are around me that touch this field. And that healing looks like work, career, that dharma, working out, and being compensated for it. It looks like relationships becoming more passionate and juicy and honest and integrity and loving and caring. Something good's going on. Can you feel that? It's a station that's always been available. It's a site that you're invited to be part of. There's a spirit of givingness, of love that is happening, that is ours now. So let go of that which is disagreeable in your world. Become available to be present for a hand that is reaching towards yours. There's a light. So in this divine moment, allow that shift to take place within you. Speak it, be it, express it. For we have been called for a time such as this to contribute to this dark moment where there has been pain. But you have been called to be the bringer of light, of calm, of comfort. And in this, the greater collective flow moves. The light returns to our nation. The peace is believed and talked about, no longer magnifying the negative. We're beginning to affirm the positive, the healing, the peace, the joy, this Garden of Eden in which we live in. We begin to act in responsiveness to this new vision of wholeness, of interconnectedness, of diverse expression embraced. Oh, it's a good time to be alive. It is a good time to be called to be an expression of God. And I say thank you because there's a healing going on. Feel it, sense it, claim it. It's here now. Step into that affluent flow of life with gratitude, with appreciation, not excuse, not guilt, not trying to not look so bright. Let your light shine. Let your light shine. This world needs it now more than ever. So with gratitude and appreciation, I let it shine. I allow myself to speak the words of truth that I know are the spiritual truth manifesting now, and I let go of everything else. I let go of even the words I've spoken, for the truth always is. I don't need to hold on to it. I don't need to make it happen. It is with gratitude I let go, I let God, and I allow this moment to be that divine expression made manifest for all. And so it is. Amen.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go. And this is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. So no more
I love it. All right. Hey, remember, Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, candlelight service. But right now, affirmation to take home with you, which is, I am expressing the joy of the season. So together, I am expressing the joy of the season. Touch your heart and say it again. Like you mean it. Come on. I am expressing the joy of the season. Okay, now coordinated, appropriate. I am expressing the joy of the season. One more time. I am expressing the joy of the season. I love you. See you Wednesday.